So remember Marry Me Chicken was trending like last year and the year before? Well, I'm making Marry Me Enchiladas, and these are pretty good. Let me show you how I make it. I'm going to be using around 2.5, I'd say 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is just all that I had left, but 3 tablespoons works. And now I'm going to add some onion. This is just a little bit of diced onion, and I'm going to saute. Here I'm adding a pinch of salt, and just continue to saute until they become aromatic, fragrant, and translucent. Here I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of diced chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. This is the jar that I love to use in my cooking, and I'm just going to add that right into the pan and just combine that and cook that just for like 15 to 30 seconds at this point. Here I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to shake that in, and I'm going to cook and combine the flour for about a minute. This is going to create a roux. So I'm going to add in some chicken broth, and I'm probably going to start with like a cup of chicken broth going in. You can use your favorite chicken broth from the store. I just had a 1.5 cups of warm water, and I mixed in a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of this chicken bouillon powder, and just give it a mix. And I'm not going to use the full amount, a 1.5 cups in this recipe. I just started with like 3/4 cup to a cup just to start working into the roux. And you could essentially add all chicken broth, but I'm going to add chicken broth, mix it, and now I'm going to add like a 1/2 cup of whole milk because I want it creamy. And now I'm just going to combine this, let it simmer until it thickens. And I want to mention that I'm working with a medium-low to medium heat, nothing on high. Okay, so now I'm going to add 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Just break that apart and mix it in until smooth and creamy like this. Here I'm going to add like 4 ounces of grape tomatoes that I cut in half, and 2 handfuls of fresh baby spinach leaves. I'm just going to let that continue to cook, mix that in, and then you'll want to taste it for salt and seasoning. I'm adding a little bit of this garlic salt pepper blend. I'm going to give that a mix, give it a taste, and this is done. I'm using 1 whole rotisserie chicken. This is going to be chicken enchiladas with a creamy Marry Me sauce. It's going to be good. So I'm going to shred and chop this up. I'm using corn tortillas, and I am going to pass them through this preheated cooking oil. I'm going to give them a very light fry. It's not very long. You don't want them crispy. You just want them to be warmed through, soft and pliable. Doing this step also helps to keep the texture when you roll them up and pour the sauce and bake. They don't fall apart. So this is why I like to do this. Some people just warm them up, and if you like that, go for it. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside on a baking sheet and just repeat the process until I get about 14, 15 of these. Once these are done softening and warming them through, it's time to assemble this. I've already shredded my chicken, and I added a little bit of salt and pepper into the mix. Here I have 10 ounces of Oaxaca cheese that I shredded. You could use a low moisture mozzarella. What I'm going to do is just mix some of that cheese into the chicken, and it's time to roll these up. So all I'm going to do is just take some of the filling, the chicken cheese filling, roll it up and place it seam side down. I'm going to do about 14 of these. That'll fit in the baking dish that I'm using. And you can use a 9x13 baking dish, by the way, for this recipe. So there have been a lot of variations of the whole Marry Me chicken or Marry Me salmon type recipes, and I thought, let me do my version, but like for enchiladas. And clearly I didn't put tomato paste or basil into the mix. This is sort of like my little variation. I actually did a recipe which was another variation of Marry Me chicken, but it's like a creamy chipotle sauce, but it kind of looks like Marry Me chicken, and that's actually how I came up with these enchiladas from that recipe that I did last year. And I will link that chicken recipe below if you want to check it out. So a little bit of cream sauce on the bottom, stack the enchiladas all into the baking sheet. You'll want to preheat your oven at this point to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And once these are all snug as a bug in my baking dish, I'm going to sprinkle some of the cheese on top. Now the cream sauce, and I'm just going to pour that over and spread it around evenly on the top to make sure all of the enchiladas are coated. I'm going to add the rest of the cheese on top. I'm also going to cover with foil, and these are going to bake in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes. You want to check it just a little bit on the side. Careful, it's hot. Eee. Oh yeah, okay. Be careful. So these are done, and you can serve right away. They are cheesy, melty, gooey, creamy deliciousness. This goes great with a side salad, some rice. It all works, and it's so good. I like to garnish with some chopped baby spinach leaves. You don't have to do that. But this is dinner. Whether you use rotisserie chicken or boil, bake, or roast your own chicken, it all works, and it's so good. And this cream sauce, in my opinion, you can use this on chicken, you can use this on fish. It's really, really good. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.